Мы, морские пехотинцы гвардейской 810-й бригады, вместе с нашими братьями-десантниками официально заявляем: Крынки наши развалинами противника удовлетворены. Где мы, там победа!
On February 20th, the official statement of the Minister of Defense of the Russian Federation, Sergei Shoigu, had the effect of a bombshell in the West. Before the Western media and the military could regain their senses from the shocking news about the loss of Avdiivka by the armed forces of Ukraine, the Russian military department officially announced the new successes of the Russian army on the battlefield. So, on February 20, 2024, Russian Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu officially announced that the Russian army had completely liberated the village of Krynky in the Kherson region. Moreover, he also added that with the liberation of this village, the so-called bridgehead of the armed forces of Ukraine on the left bank of the Dnieper ceased to exist. Later, the commander of the airborne troops, Colonel General Mikhail Teplinsky, who led the operation to liberate Krynky, personally reported to Vladimir Putin about the liberation of this settlement. According to him, about 10 Ukrainian soldiers are now hiding in Krynky, who were asked to surrender. War correspondents and many Ukrainian telegram channels also confirmed the capture of Krynky by Russian troops. Moreover, the telegram channel of the 35th Brigade of Ukrainian Marines, who landed on the left bank of the Dnieper and held a bridgehead in Krynky, admitted that the Ukrainian Marines were forced to retreat from this village. However, judging by what is happening on the left bank of the Dnieper, not all Ukrainian fighters will be able to leave this territory. According to war correspondents, due to the constant work of Russian artillery and FPV drones, the armed forces of Ukraine lost not only all their military boats, but even rubber boats. Moreover, as soon as some kind of watercraft appears near the Krynky, it is immediately destroyed by Russian drones and artillery. According to Sergei Shoigu, in Krynky alone, the losses of the Ukrainian armed forces amounted to 1,800 soldiers, while the total losses of the Ukrainian army after the start of the ground operation to create a bridgehead on the left bank of the Dnieper amounted to 3,500 soldiers. At the same time, it is worth noting that the Kiev authorities still do not recognize the loss of Krynky. According to the representative of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, Colonel of the Ground Forces of the Ukrainian Army, Natalia Dumanyuk, Ukrainian troops allegedly continue to keep Krynky under control and expand this bridgehead. Moreover, she accused Sergei Shoigu and Vladimir Putin of lying. According to her, Russia is announcing the capture of Krynky to further raise Vladimir Putin's rating in the upcoming presidential elections. By the way, what is interesting, she did not refute Sergei Shoigu's words that the armed forces of Ukraine lost 3,500 soldiers on the left bank of the Dnieper. Meanwhile, European analytical centers have already begun to mark Krynky on maps in red, which means that this village has come under the control of the Russian army. According to military experts from European analytical centers, the armed forces of Ukraine lost the village of Krynky due to the beginning of the offensive of Russian troops in the Zaporizhia direction. Against the background of an acute shortage of manpower, the Ukrainian High Military Command is constantly forced to transfer reserves from other sectors of the front, which negatively affects the defense of the armed forces of Ukraine. It is also worth noting the statements of numerous insiders in Kiev. According to them, the Ukrainian generals blamed the British military for the loss of Krynky. The fact is that the grouping of the armed forces of Ukraine under the designation Katran, consisting of the most experienced Ukrainian Marines and foreign mercenaries, created a bridgehead on the left bank of the Dnieper during an operation developed by the British military, called Jump Over the Dnieper. Back then, the British assured the Ukrainian generals that this operation was doomed to success, since soon the Dnieper would freeze, and it would be possible to deliver a powerful blow to Russian positions with the help of tanks, and reach Crimea. However, unfortunately for the Ukrainian High Military Command, the Dnieper River did not freeze this winter, as a result of which the rotation and supply of Ukrainian troops on the left bank of the Dnieper sharply deteriorated. And already in December last year, seeing all this disaster, the Ukrainian generals realized that all attempts to hold a bridgehead on the left bank of the Dnieper were doomed to complete failure, and that the armed forces of Ukraine would be forced to leave their positions in February 2024.